Back. We're still in IQ Games Huddersfield, covering the top 8, the quarterfinals of the Northern.
Semis.
Of
Just
the
about to start
of
at
the Northern
first
League
semi-final.
legacy.
We've got Bousfield on Miracles.
He's not been on coverage yet. The only Miracles player in the room, which is pretty rare for us
Yeah,
here
it's
in
quite
the north
unusual.
of England. And versus Mud, and this might be why is only one in the room
So we've
because
got Mcparlin-Jones on Mud. We saw him earlier. He was our.
he was. We're going to send straight down to the feature match area now.
And we're just off down to catch up with the players.
So Mcparlin-Jones, eighth seed on the way into this event. Callum Bousfield getting the players. Well, has he got whiteboarded basics? So we're
Makes
going
it
to have
easier
a
to
word.
find.
So we're going to have a word. No respect for Wasteland, slowing that Tundra. Looks like he's going to jam a top. Or a Ponder. What do you think, Alex?
Oh, one or the other.
He's not playing Legend Miracles, he's playing Ponder Miracles. Foil Ponder, respect. The best printing of Foil Ponder also.
I'm a fan of that over the Lorwyn one.
Yeah, same. The long one does have fish boobs, so it's like, it's each to their own.
The art just looks so much more like what the card's doing.
Yeah, I
It's
agree,
like,
I agree.
Here's 3 things, choose one.
I like Corset artwork because it's less specific and
Yeah.
more sort of whimsical. Although Lorwyn was definitely the most whimsical block, so I don't know why I said that.
Have you seen the changelings?
Anyway, that's a Ponder. It looks like we're looking for land and we've not found it. Crikey. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's Charlie for
oh
one.
dear.
And, well, there's a Force of Will in hand. I think he has to cast it. Oh no, that's a counterbalance.
Counterbalance, counterspell. Top Ponder. I don't think Calm's winning this one. We're going to go to sideboards fairly quickly. We'll see how this goes, because Joe is advancing his board at a much quicker rate than Callum is. Oh, Miracle Trigger. Yep. Uh-ohs.
That's all it takes
So
sometimes.
interestingly, Callum kept 7, and he kept 7 of top Ponder, Tundra, Counterbalance, and something else. You keep that, right?
Yeah,
Against a blind opponent, yes. Against Mud, maybe not. I don't know. Well, that's how the games go, apparently. He did Ponder into no land, which also sucks.
Ponder gives you 5 chances to find the card you want.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The first 3 that you look at, then you shuffle and draw one, and then you have a draw step.
Yeah, I just didn't find it.
If you're looking for something as non-specific as any land, you're quite unlucky not to find it. Obviously, nevertheless, it's still a bit of a gamble, especially if he knows what deck his opponent's on. I can only assume he doesn't. Or didn't, rather.
Well, maybe, like, the other thing is
fetching a non-basic and risking getting
if you
wasted.
think your opponent's on that deck,
Yeah.
do you just go top? Because that way you've resolved it, and it's safe
and
when
it's
it's in play.
there. Yeah.
And then you've got all the cards that you need in the long run.
I'm not really sure. I think I would definitely fetch the basic.
Do you think?
Well, if he gets wastelanded, the game's over.
Yeah, that's true. It's a difficult one. But anyway, Callum clearly doing well so far and going into game 2 here.
Yeah.
We've discussed sideboarding a little bit.
So there's the 4 cards that we mentioned when we were trying to
2
figure
Blood
out
Moon,
what
2 Wear Tear. There was also a
Vendilion
Vendilion
Creek
Creek
coming in as
which
well?
I think
That
fine.
seems
It's just
totally
another threat.
reasonable, yeah.
Also, interestingly, it blocks Steel Hellkite. That was totally relevant. Again, Callum not on Legend Miracles, but does have access to some Karakai.
So for Joe, we've got. I don't even know what you're bringing. Perhaps Thorn of Amethyst.
I don't know. It does. I don't. One of the things is, I don't think
this
it
match
matters.
is so favoured for him to start with. I don't think he really needs to change very much. I mean, there's possibly Crucible if you want to go down the Wasteland route, but it's
Maybe
just
a Ratchet
not
Bomb
needed.
if you want to kill it. No, you don't need to kill any of their opponents.
Ratchet Bomb on 0 turns off
take us a
Mentor.
Mentor. We have 2 Mentor and 2
Yeah.
Sarcaster in this list. And 1 Entreat as well, which you just turn off. So I can see one way they lose is that the Mud player just go, the Miracle player goes end step, make this Entreat for 5, untap, kill you.
Yeah.
So I can see Ratchet Bomb for 0 being relevant.
Yeah, the
But
Ratchet
what are you
Bomb on
botting out?
0.
All their cards are so good against Miracles. Maybe Platinum Emporium.
Swords to Plowshares does render that somewhat moot.
But we're playing Chalice on 1.
That's this. Yeah, I mean that's true. Again, to some degree, the same is true of Blightsteel Colossus. But
I like-
there's Lightning Greaves.
Yeah.
You can fetch them out with Forge Master. Sundering Titan seems a little bit unnecessary.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
I think by a wide margin, the most relevant sideboarding happening here is on the other side of the table.
when the Blood Moons come in. When the rest
Blood-
of the people, well, not sorry,
Blood
when the
Moon-
Red Tears come
Blood Moon is huge, and to a lesser extent, Wear Tear. You know, if you can take out a key card very early on.
It's just Shatter, right, in this deck?
Yeah, I mean, if Joe's opening play is Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, go.
Or Ancient Tomb Chalice on one.
Which way around are the halves? Is it Shatter
four
for 2
to
and
Shatter for 2, Erase for 1?
Disenchant for 1? Yeah.
I think. We should double check that.
I'm going to double check that. Perhaps we can get that card on the screen for you. Wear Tear.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Looks like players have started as well, so... Well, we're quite far behind the players. It looks like Joe's just playing out his lands while Callum plays fetch lands. It seems to me like he's going to play a... I can't imagine he's playing... Since he's on the play, is he just playing a Damage Viper? But yeah, Wear Tear, we just hold there in his deck, so we know he's brought it in. Callum going to get islands this time, so I think you're right. He must have.
I think he's learned his lesson from game 1.
Sorry, that sigh was just I had necessary with the whiteboard. I'm so sorry.
Well, you joke. When we had the brief spell in...
Other thing he's playing there was to get the...
There's the Blood Moon. Yeah, so on Wear Tear, we do have Destroy Target Artifact at 2 mana, not 1.
Joe just playing 3 mana. 3 mana Trinisphere.
There's a Trinisphere.
Well, reads this card. He's going to tear it, but it's going to cost 3 mana. Also, does he? That's the question.
I don't know if you do.
Read it again. It stops mental top shenanigans. It's just difficult.
But
Wear is essentially Shatter.
So, apart from anything else, if you really wanted to stop it, I think he could have Force of Willed. Oh no, he didn't have a spare blue card. Okay.
Oh, that's probably why he's worried about it. Having 3 mana Force Will now means that whatever he...
Yeah.
Because Joe can do things relevant on 4 mana, whereas...
Trinisphere,
it looks like Joe...
Trinisphere is definitely irritating.
Yeah.
But it's not...
Lodestone, just keeping going with this. He can block Mentor fairly efficiently.
I would rather kill that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Than the Trinisphere. Trinisphere is very irritating, but it's by no means debilitating.
Yes.
Chalice on 1 wrecks. Wrecks entire games in the way that we saw in game 1.
So if he goes land, Jace bounce, the Lodestone attack seems strong. This game looks a lot more one-sided in a different direction.
One of the things that's really funny about Prowess, as opposed to some of the other cards that have similar triggers, so there's lots of blue and red cards in older sets and even in more recent sets that trigger off specifically instants and sorceries. Prowess, for some reason, is all non-creature spells. So we're actually going to get a monk token for casting Jace here.
Yep, which we are doing.
I think Joe picks his cards up.
Oh, he's just... Yeah, bounce this.
Yeah.
Attack for 3. Callum with nice monk tokens. I respect a guy who brings his own tokens.
There's a massive pile of them next to the play area to use.
That too.
Yeah.
Hey, we're prepared.
They
What
might
can we
be
say? Does Joe just tap out again for...
I think this match has been as ludicrously one-sided as this game rather has been as ludicrously one-sided as the first one was.
At least he's forcing his opponent to bounce with Jace. He's got second mentor.
But that, I mean,
oh, never mind.
It's just not a winning
He plays
proposition.
3 mana Sword Splash Jace. Yeah, I think he just... Yeah, I don't think this has gone well for Joe. Well, I guess this is the way Miracles wins, and it's Million to Blood Moon, play turn 3 Blood Moon on the play, and Jace on... Yeah, Jace on turn 5.
The power level of Blood Moon in this match is
well
crazy.
Yeah. It goes beyond screwing your opponent out of cards and instead out of color of mana, and instead screws them out of mana.
Quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, several of Joe's lands without Blood Moon in play produce more than 1 mana each, and this reduces them to 1 mana each. So when you're wanting to cast cards that cost 6 and 8,
you're playing 6.
You're having to actually find 8 lands, and that's just not doable.
Then he'll play 2 mana for his Soul Splash shares.
Yeah, so we've put Joe down to just lands here, and we're hitting for 4, 5, 6, 7, putting him to 10, representing lethal next turn.
Yeah.
We've also got Force blue card in hand, I believe.
And a Jace the Mind Sculptor.
And a Jace the Mind Sculptor in play. I mean, Joe may as well pick his cards up. May as well have done last turn, to be completely honest. But
if he... I'm out.
Yeah.
Can't do anything.
Jace ended the game.
I think any number of cards there would have ended the game. Interestingly, yeah, we could have got him for 2 more damage and chose not to. Pass the turn. Not a good pass from Joe. I suppose if Callum doesn't find enough spells, he's going to end step up top. I think it was wrong not to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Joe's all the way up on 15.
He got ploughed.
Oh, that's true.
He doesn't have force plus blue card. So if he doesn't kill Joe this turn,
He
Joe
can just.
Nah, Joe can't generate enough mana to do anything awesome. If he's got a way to end step kill Blood Moon, I don't think he has, but if he has, then he can untap play an Ugin, and then he probably won, but... Yeah, this is rough for the Mud player.
Here's a fun interaction. Does Joe have engineered explosives? No, he doesn't. He has.
Unfortunately, Joe can't play engineered explosives on...
No, he can't play. Oh, he's got ratchet bomb rather than engineered explosives.
Oh, I
Of
see.
course,
So you,
what I was going to say is the combination of Blood Moon and Trinisphere means that engineered
Wait, on
explosives is always on one
always
instead
on
of 0.
one. Yeah. I should be brainstorming with Jay, so that's why top is back in play.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm slightly less attentive due to the fact that lethal is in play.
But I have absolutely no idea what Joe's meant to draw into here.
He just wants to get as much camera time as possible. I
Why
respect
not?
the man.
Why not?
He's managed to stay around on 4. Joe's going to stay for the turn. Yeah, it's not a timed round. He can do what he wants. I'll do what I want. I'll play mud
Do you
even
really
though it's
want
not
to
great in the meta.
endure having monks thrown at you?
Yeah, if I'm on camera, throw monks at me.
So we've seen a haymaker from each player in the first 2 games. Chalice on 1 on turn 1 from Joe in game 1, and an on-curve Blood Moon for Callum on the play.
So we talked about Sidebody a little bit. We saw Callum. I don't think it's going to change as he goes to power shuffle his deck almost immediately. Joe can think about bringing in those match ones if he didn't already, just to kill Blood Moon. I quite like that. Because it's a colourless way you can get around the Blood Moon. And honestly, that game you nearly had enough time to just charge up a Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah.
The Mentor does bring this new dimension to Miracles where it can kill you really quickly, which is scary. And pretty impressive. You recruit could fetch Snapcaster and Mentor and Stoneforge. Then recruit to Miracles, yeah?
The problem is
Adventure.
it's still a 2-2.
Yeah, I know. It's a 1-1. Oh, what? Mentor is.
Oh no, sorry, the recruiter's a 1-1,
Yes,
isn't
1-1,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. I have a suspicion that card's not going to turn out to be the card we thought it was when
Do
he
you think?
spoiled it.
I think
Yeah.
it's good in D&T, and that's it. And Allurin. It changes Allurin a lot.
I think it's a great combo piece. I just don't know if I rate it as a utility card.
Um,
Like being able to search up whatever you want is fantastic. The problem is the fact that you've just spent 3 mana on a 1-1.
Well, the thing is, the 3 on a 1-1's good against Miracles.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I guess in the Vial deck as well, you know, if you Vial it in and you don't pay for it, so you Vial up, you Vial it in for free, you find another card for free, and then you play
Oh,
something
Callum
else.
changed his mind. Is going to sideboard. Just 1 for
So it
1.
looks like,
He's boarded out the 4 counterbalance there.
yeah.
I think did he board out? Was that?
I think the question is, what can come in instead? What's relevant? What's worth having?
The 4 cards we discussed. Maybe a...
So the 2 Blood Moons, the 2 Wear Tears, and the Vendilion Clique, they're obviously fine. Aside from that, I mean, you start to even look at Meddling Mage just as a Grizzly Bear.
yeah.
You know,
Blocks.
some of the cards in the main deck are just not relevant enough. Certainly Counterbalance needs to go. It's no use.
Top's really good. Mentor's still good.
Top's great. You
Snapcaster's
probably still
good,
want
excuse
some
me.
number of Terminus.
Oh, hell yeah. Terminus is you're out a lot of the time. Because Chalice on 1, you can still Terminus. Even when you can't plough. There's a question of do you take Ponder out, just because if he's going to Chalice you, then if you want 1-drops in your deck.
possibly. Although
He doesn't necessarily...
losing that card makes your Mentor much weaker. And if you get Mentor onto the table, you can still cast Ponder just to get your triggers.
That's true. It's not very good. Well, we saw Joe play Trinisphere last game. He has 3 in his deck.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I assume Joe boarded in Staff of Nin, maybe the Steel Hellkites. Warping Whale does kill all of Callum's threats. It's not great. It counts Terminus as well. Warping Whale will probably coming in now.
Yes. Yeah.
We didn't discuss Joe's sideboard enough. I think he has options, even though the matchup is very, very good. We discussed boarding out. I mean, you can maybe board out Wormcoil Engine this matchup. It's not like he's going to kill it any other way.
No.
You're never going. It's just a 6-mana 6/6.
You're never getting the halves.
Because the Death Touch isn't that relevant either. Because it's a 6/6, so it kills whatever it blocks anyway.
I had somebody dismember my Gitrog monster, thinking that would make it lose in combat to their Get
Oh,
my gangler.
no.
Like, you know what this 6/6 needed? Death touch.
So Wormcoil Engine maybe coming out here for Steel Hellkites and
In Callum's shoes, how aggressively
do you mulligan?
do you mulligan for the Blood Moon?
Well, I think you mulligan to a 2-lander that doesn't rely on 1-drops, just in case he has Chalice. And if that involves Blood Moon, you're happy, and if it doesn't, there's a Wear Tear and a Ponder. I think I'd keep this. Is this 4 lands, Jace, Ponder, Wear Tear?
It's 3 lands, Jace, Ponder, Wear Tear, top.
Yeah, keep.
I
I'm
think
happy with
that's
that.
a keep.
If Joe goes turn 1 Chalice, then screw it, I'll play Jace eventually, hopefully.
Well, no, I'll just find my Volcanic and I'll...
City of Traitors for Joe. That's not a
who
good
Chalice
start,
on
because
one. Yeah.
that's a scary land to play on turn 1. Because it
Okay,
means
because
that
we do have an answer to that. Yeah, I mean, we've drawn the Force when we could have played it. Committing City on turn 1,
means he's only
means
going to play a
we-
4-drop next turn.
yeah, I guess Lodestone is a bit of a beater.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. He just forces it. Joe thinks deeply. But do you jam Trinity here if you get the opportunity? Like, basically, if I'm Joe, do you want to just jam your best threat, or are you hoping to resolve one later on? Chat might be right. It might be a sword, not a top. The FTV foiling is difficult to discern, but I think you're right.
Oh,
Chat.
yes, that's...
Good job, chat.
FTV source.
Thanks, bro. Keeping us sane, keeping us real. Twitch chat.
So
OP.
we're going to get a Volk here, and we're going to take out either the Chalice or the Grim Monolith. I think it has to be the Chalice, which is a bit of a shame because
Well, if he hits the Grim Monolith, how
mind
many
you,
more else does he have?
whatever Joe taps the Grim Monolith for next turn, he's going to get forced, I would assume.
Yes, I can believe
Which
that.
leaves Joe with a tapped Monolith he can't untap, his Chalice in the bin, a City of Traitors in the bin.
But he might be drawing Cloudburst next turn, and then if he's got a...
Yeah.
Sorry, playing Cloudburst next turn?
Yeah.
Kill Chalice. Okay.
So we've got Force Jace Ponder.
What if we just Wasteland here? That's fascinating.
Certainly an option.
He's looking at this Lightning Greaves.
I'd be willing to run that out. It
He's
strengthens
got a
your
Planet
later
Hand,
turn.
But, I mean...
Because this Grim Monolith is...
Oh, it's not Lightning Greaves.
Ah, yes.
It looked like a... Oh!
Let me read that first.
I'll force it, wait. Is there resolve? So
Oh, we'll have the swords in hand.
Yeah, so he's going to plow it. And then force whatever he has next. He read the Kuldotha Forge Master, and then plowed it.
That. Yeah, I think this might go Callum's way. I think...
Why does whenever we joke about something being one-sided, they then like immediately lose?
well, to be fair, what it has done
Miracles
is
has so much play to it.
it's showcased a really interesting angle of the match. Like, both players know that Chalice on 1 is a huge deal, which is why Joe was willing to make sure he did it on turn 1 instead of on turn 2. The downside, from Joe's perspective of that, is it means burning his City of Traitors relatively early. Well, you can't really get any earlier than turn 1. But City of Traitors getting burnt, plus Grim Monolith getting burnt, plus both of the cards that he cast off them being removed, means he's really, really far down. He's only tapping for 2 mana. The cards in his hand cost 6.
Did he just do the copy Wasteland there?
So there's a Greaves ready for whatever he plays next turn. The problem is,
Do you force this?
no, I force whatever he plays next.
Okay. Feels like he's going to brainstorm in response.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Or you even swords in response to the attempt to equip. Now, you don't even need to cast a Blood Moon.
Well, all his lands tap for 1 anyway.
Yep.
Joe looking down at an Endbringer and what looks like a staff in or
So
Steel Hellkite.
he gets to untap, make a land, cast Chase,
Yep.
brainstorm with Chase, and then pass the turn with Force Blue card.
And yeah. 4 cards in hand. This is looking rough for Joe. Miracles just drew this is anti-disruption. It's re-ruption. It's unduption?
When we were talking about the deck earlier, we picked out the sideboard cards that we thought mattered. We said Blood Moon and we said Wear Tear.
Yeah, and they
and
matter.
it looks like those 2 cards are going to 1 Callum, 1 game each.
But it's frankly very
Yeah.
fragile.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had so many games where a single wasteland has been all I needed to beat them. So a couple of lovely volcanic islands on the table there. Blue-red dual land. Don't even cost you 2 life like Steam beds.
Just island mountain.
There to enable some sideboard cards for miracles. They're not really.
Yeah, he's not playing
They're
any
not really
Main Deck
for game
cards.
one.
Sometimes you see Main Deck Pyroblast. I don't think we're doing this list.
That was more prominent when Dig Through Time was a card. But,
And there was lots of more blue in the format.
they went and banned it for some reason. I can't think why.
Who knows why? Maybe it was busted. So you tapped out for Jace him. Of course. Oh my goodness. Force switch second Jace. That feels pretty good.
So much of the time, Mud is an all-in deck. Like you're all behind one particular play, and in this game it was let's get behind Chalice on one.
Yeah. So if Callum Bloodmoon's here, he lost himself on single blue. Oh, I tell a lie. He can even fetch basic island if he wants, sorry, basic plains if he wants before he shuffles, so he can be on double white, double blue. Although sometimes they only play 1 basic plains. This one is playing 2. This list.
So between the Grim Monoliths and City of Traitors, Joe's effectively played 3 Dark Rituals in this game.
Yeah, and getting blown out is bad.
Yeah. I don't even really know what Joe wants to draw into at this point because the
Well, he doesn't
combination.
know he doesn't know Callum's got blood in his hand. So he
But
could
if that's irrelevant, even without that, Joe's lands are only tapping for 1 apiece. So
Carpo's
the
taps for
remaining cards in his deck fall into one of 2 categories:
cards you can't cast.
cards you can't cast and
irrelevant
lands.
cards. Sure. Well,
Then again, Callum's not really applying any pressure at the moment, so
That's true.
Joe still does have.
I think I would have played the fetch there.
If Joe finds a land, over the following 2 turns he can untap both Grim Monoliths.
Yep.
The turn after that he'll be ready to play Ugin.
Yeah, that's true. And he found a land, and it doesn't pain him.
although-
There's an Endbringer in his hand.
Yeah. That Ancient Tomb's not even going to deal damage to it there.
Nope,
It taps
powerful.
for 1.
And we have Lightning Greaves, so we can even get around Jace Bounce on our Endbringer.
Yeah.
We can't get around Soul Smashers, but that's not the point.
No, swords
to
in
pretend
response
he
to a
doesn't have that.
creature is.
You have to pretend he doesn't have it. Pretend. Shh. No one knows. Mountain.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Joe has a window to resolve the threat.
So one of the things that's an issue with playing Jace is it's got
Joe has a window to resolve Embryo.
so many abilities
Joe has a window to resolve Embryo.
and have it immediately sourced.
No. So he's tapped
Oh, he can't generate
Blood
white.
Moon. Reads Endbringer.
Yeah.
Feels bad. Doesn't
So
tap
we're
loud.
gonna get Greaves on it.
And then attack, because it untaps. He looks at his hand. He can brainstorm into Force. But I don't know if he has Force. He knows what 2 of the 3 cards are. So he can attack and then untap it. Wow.
He will get to block it more or less indefinitely.
He can't activate any of its abilities unless he untaps Crypt Monolith.
Yeah.
He can ping something. He can ping a monk. Then untap. Shaw resolves.
So obviously he wants to get the Mentor out because he needs to find a way to apply
To win
pressure
game.
somehow.
Maybe he should have waited. Well, honestly, I think he should have played the fetch. When he brainstormed with Jace a while ago and
Yeah.
had the option to crack a fetch and go and find a basic plains, and instead of that, he played the basic island and put the fetch on top and then drew the
Yeah.
fetch for that turn. That Arid Messer that is still floating around on top of his deck, so there, we can see.
I think, first of
he
all,
should have cracked.
I think first of all we should have. So what I was about to say about Jace, he's got so many abilities and they're also strong. The trap is you use the wrong one. And I think when you're ahead,
Fate seal them.
you should be fate sealing rather than brainstorming.
Sure.
You should be fate sealing them and like keeping Joe off the few relevant cards he has, as opposed to strengthening an already very strong hand. And second, while sure he does need a window to land a threat of his own, like the Mentor, some way of actually winning the game. It's very greedy when the opponent has Lightning Greaves
Greedy greasy.
to, with no counter in hand, leave yourself with no white for the swords in response.
Yeah, so he shuffled and drew, and he can't cast that spell. Do you apply your Mentor token to block the 5/5 next turn? No, the 5/5 is never attacking. And you can't. He could attack with his. Oh, it's only a 3/3 Mentor, isn't it? Yep, looks at it, can't attack, feels bad. He's got Council Judgment in play, this is double white. I really think Callum misplayed here by not fetching with the Iron Messer. And we had Joe locked out of the game, and it does seem to me that Callum has lost himself this through misplays. He's ping you.
Yeah.
Or ping Jace, even better.
Short of finding a second white source to take out the Lightning Greaves, Callum can't realistically win.
Crikey. And is he attacking Jace? One would assume so. But no, because he just trumps the monk. Maybe not. No, he's pinging Jace. Yeah. That's fair.
It untaps and he
Untap,
pings
then
Jace
his
again.
upkeep, ping Jace.
Wow.
Kerpow. It doesn't mean you can't block.
Yeah. But I don't think we're dealing 24 damage. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, we're back on parity.
So we're... We've managed to get...
The thing is, if Joe top decks a threat here, and he's got 6 mana, he can just equip Greaves again.
No, Force of Will.
Oh. And counterspell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe
Okay,
can't realistically resolve anything. But basically, Callum's had to burn an awful lot of resources to recover from a single, fairly glaring misplay. You know, there's several turns where he's brainstorming unnecessarily and he should have been Fate Sealing. There's Sundering Titan. It's just not resolving.
Yeah, it's just not resolving.
Yeah.
Hardcast Force, sure.
I don't know if there's an argument that you should play Counterspell so that later you can force with no mana up, or if you just play Force so that you can Counterspell with less
Drawing
mana
the top's
up.
pretty big there.
Yeah.
That was very lucky. Ah, Callum's been lucky. Better lucky than good.
There's a Snapcast there.
Did he know the Turnus was on top, actually? No, he
he
shuffled
may
off
have-
Ponder.
no,
He shuffled off
yeah.
Ponder. That was the last thing we did.
Yeah. So Terminus with the mechanic that the deck's named for.
I think that card should be banned. Ban one of them.
I've said it repeatedly. I think that the deck is strong enough that it could do with a hit, but I don't.
Well,
I
they
wouldn't
sort
want
of
to
just
take
boosted
away the actual counterbalance lock, because I think that's too much of a hit.
Well, there's lots of, I think lots of control decks could be playing counterbalance top
Yeah.
block. I think there could be a bug on a blue-red control deck that would play counterbalance lock.
In particular, don't want them to ban Divining Top as opposed to Counterbalance or some other card, because that card's actually really valuable in several other decks. Like, I've played it in non-blue Nick Fit, and it's huge for those decks.
Storm, in Doomsday. Yeah. And like we say, I like that the counterbalance top block can be used in Painter, in other. Can't spell. Oh, actually, Plow. What do you want to do here? This is interesting.
With 2 swords in hand, I let that resolve and then swords it in response to the equip.
Sure. Who's thinking about it? I guess you want to be forcing a Staff of Din.
The thing is, if in my hand I have 2 answers,
Yeah.
and one of them is a universal answer, one of them is a limited answer, if something that the limited answer works on shows up, I should use that.
Yeah, I
Because the next threat might be one that I can only use counterbalance on, I can't use swords on.
We'll see how this goes. It does seem to me that Callum is asking if, I would imagine Callum is asking if he gets the 3/3s, if he paths it, so he plows it. But look, Joe would go a 30 life. Oh, he wants to know if he can equip it instant speed or something? Seems complicated. Callum's got away from the table. It's customary to ask Joe to go through, that seems perfectly fine. Joe like, come on man, I just rolled my 6/6, man.
I imagine this is one of those situations where perhaps the pressure of the match is getting to him and he's overthinking something that's fairly simple.
Yeah, it's important when you can
Yeah.
just call a judge. I think that's fair. But Joe, sitting arms crossed. Callum, Wormcore resolves, here's a plow. I was just double checking. Yeah, that seems bad. I get no 3/3s.
Yeah, I imagine that was just some question about timing. So, strictly speaking, Joe has priority first and could have announced the activation of the Lightning Greaves, but if he's going to swords in response, there's
So
not much to worry about there.
Callum's
So
going
is
to
this
snapcast a
be-
brainstorm. Just to try and get a 2-turn play, I guess.
It gets him a card deeper. It gets an actual way of winning
2-1,
onto
sorry.
the table.
Yeah. He's got another wear tear. Does he ever get to a stage where you tear your own
I
blood
was
moon?
literally just about to ask that. Is
Does he
there
wear
a
tear?
stage where, because of the amount of cards in hand and the fact that Blood Moon does actually mess with his mana base as well, the players in Joe's end step wear tear and get rid of one of his artifacts and the Blood Moon?
Wear your thing, tear my blood moon. I don't know if he needs to. But also,
I think
actually, it
so.
unlocks fetches. Maybe it's really relevant.
I think certainly if you get to the point where you've got 2 or 3 uncracked fetches in play, a top on the board, and some decent amount of cards in hand, it's certainly something that you should at least consider, if not do.
But it doesn't like as necessary as that clique. And the second basic planes is basically all you need, I think. This one's all but done. I wonder if I can see behind me that the other semi-final is still going on. Bird versus D&T. Our table judge attentively watching as the no resolve spells. Calm here with the clique. You can
Go
draw
to
step clique.
Clique and draw step. Let him keep a land, take anything else away.
Yeah. Well,
If he happens to hit run a spell.
maybe he should wait until Joe plays a spell, counter it if he does, and if he doesn't, clique himself. Probably let that resolve and then clique later, and yeah. It's just
Actually,
really-
there's a real danger in casting draw step clique. If Joe has
yeah, he can't counter it.
threat,
Yeah.
by putting the first threat to the bottom and making him draw the second one, so he casts that instead, you leave yourself unable to counter it because under Blood Moon you don't have more blue mana.
Yeah. But he can do this, where he waits
Yeah.
what he plays. If he's empty-handed, I don't know why he didn't clique himself there. I would just put away.
There's got to be something worth putting to the
What's he
bottom.
got? Let's have a look. I think it's. Oh well, there's Mento. I think Joe's pretty locked out here, as much as it sucks. If Ugin had uncounterable, Joe would be favoured more. I'm a real fan of tapping top a lot.
That land should be untapped, I think.
I think he spun upkeep.
Or in his own upkeep rather than in Joe's own set. Okay.
Mento, go. Yeah, Joe's pretty dead now. So now Callum's out of count spells, right? He's got one planet
Yeah.
left, I think.
I think we're seriously looking at where taking out the Blood Moon.
So he can.
What's that? Oh, that's
It's
the
the top he just tried. So. Oh no,
Why would you tap the planes though?
I don't know.
That's 2,
I know he has
5,
Council Judgment in play
8,
as well.
10.
His Council Judgment on top.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got double
Oh.
top. Double top Mento.
Well, there we go.
Has he done this turn with double top Mento?
Quite probably.
Mentor.
I can't really be bothered to do the maths, but
Well, because Joe has a window next turn.
it's an additional 2 every time he pays 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can add 12 to what's already there, and there's currently 2, 5, 8, 10. So he can do 22 damage this turn.
Oh, not enough.
No.
He's going for them. So he's going to tap out. So Joe might be able to find.
There's some middle ground where you
Stop. Leave up wear tear, perhaps.
I think that has to be it, because that's enough that he can, if needs be, pop his own blood. Oh, he's tapped his fetch for mana though.
Maybe he doesn't need to pop his own.
There's a really bizarre version of this game where
Calibre is
Joe
faster.
does something like untap and draw another Ugin.
Yeah. Yeah, if he draws another Ugin here, he might still win. Callum just realised that he doesn't just win.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just showing that he can do this
Yeah.
any number of times. I don't know why Callum's. Yeah. He's leaving up tear.
So the main thing we can do here is we destroy the lightning greaves. So if he plays a creature, the creature doesn't have haste anymore.
Come on,
The issue
Ugin.
is
Ugin
if
off the top.
Ugin-
1, 2,
if it's
3,
Ugin.
4, 5, 6, 7. No, we don't have 7. We only have 8. We have 8 lands.
Ah, Oh, he played it off a monolith.
Monolith Foster. Yeah, is that Ugin? If that's Ugin, then...
It was a card.
Oh,
it was.
Wow. He must play so much there, Callum. Wow. But I suppose like if he knew that Joe didn't have 8 lands, but...
Yeah.
Wow, jeez. Oh my days, that would have been one more land. I need to go to hug Joe. Right, well, we'll come back to the booth. I have been given the information that Alex Carnell, our burn player, extraordinaire, Thermo... whatever it is, Thermocaster.
Thermo dude.
Somebody, dude, not 3, has won his matchup against Anil Starr, playing Death and Taxes.
Where's the other pair of deck lists?
We'll find the deck list in just a moment. We're back. That was a really interesting semi-final. We're here, Luke K, Alex Roebuck. Is this IQ Games in Huddersfield?
It is.
By the way, while we're talking about it, shout out to IQ Games in Huddersfield. They've been excellent hosts, as always. They really, really are very good, and you'll see their logo down here, down here. And they've been really, really good to us. We're really happy to be here, as always, and it's been quite good for them as well. And if you're in the area, pop down. Their store is lovely. It's huge.
It's an excellent venue.
It's always well stocked. They're getting some much better toilets, which is something that they've really. The toilet was fine. It was just there wasn't enough of them, and they're getting more of them. So that's good. That'll be there shortly. And
more than one.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a good time. Come down if you can. Whatever games you're playing, even if you're coming down for board games, like give them a look up on Facebook. Give them a look up elsewhere. Seriously, well worth doing. We should also, while we're here, thank Northern League. Who's run this lovely tournament
for their
for
next
us.
Legacy event.
Keep an eye out for
they get here every month.
They do get here or around the north of England every month, and keep an eye on their qualifier, which is coming up at some point. They're these are all qualifiers. They're invitational, which is coming up.
Invitational's in
February
next year.
So keep an eye on that.
So we should be ready for the final very shortly. We've got
Very shortly.
Alex Carnell on Burn and Colin Bousfield on Miracles.
Miracle. So sometimes you watch lots of games of Interest Magic, and then Burn versus Miracles and Mud versus Miracles. So we'll see how that goes. While we're still doing shout-outs, Northern League IQ Games. The Northern League has been really good, running this amazing tournament. 20 players today. 20 players, for a legacy tournament in the north of England with fairly short notice and good price structure is really relevant. If you can come down to any of their events at any time, or come up to any of their events at any time, please do. Please come and see us. Please come and see Northern League. They run a really good tournament, and there's always 7 City collectibles. Barney and Greg have been here today. Traders.
Yep, the prices today are prize credit with them, which you can either use to help finish off your next legacy deck, or go and get some pre-orders on Kaladesh.
Kaladesh pre-orders, very relevant.
Barney's been sat in the corner typing those up all day.
Right.
Thanks, Wizards, for waiting for a Friday to put the spoiler up.
Is what it is.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but I think it's been a really good afternoon and indeed morning. So if you get a chance, come down to one of our events here at IQ Games or elsewhere. And also, if you get a chance, come down to IQ Games. It's awesome.